It's the trailer that began the year by breaking the internet. Director James Gunn will show why the hype is deserved for Superman and why his direction is unstoppable.
Is that guy missing a leg?
Speaking of unstoppable, our terribly written transitions are too. Regardless, Unstoppable is an amazing true story of a real-life superhero. We'll catch up with the stars and the real son and mom at the center. Mom is J-Lo, by the way. Yeah, we're dropping names. Another life-changing true story now streaming. Blink will make your eyes water and your heart soar. Blink all you want, as long as you take a look. Look. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Really exciting times because we are knee-deep into award season. Think about it. We just had the Golden Globes, and then coming up next is the Critics' Choice Awards, and we'll talk about all the big winners. Before we talk about winners and losers, we got some winners and losers right now. I, by the way, might be the loser. This is the world-famous comedian Steph Sanders. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
All right, so Golden Globes, I think there's a little something to talk about. What did I tell you?
Yeah, you did.
There we go. Chris, $100 bill. We had a bet about Amelia Perez, so thank you very much for this.
You won that, but what about my bet with Zoe Saldana?
Oh, that's right. She won too. There you have it. All right, moving along. Let's talk about next year's award winners. Unstoppable opens. What do you think of if I tell you a true story about someone born with a congenital amputation that wants to be a pro world wrestler?
Your movie.
Exactly. A few years ago, I made a movie called Notorious Nick. That is exactly the true story. My producing partner, Howard, read this article in the USA Today about Nick Newell, and so we went out and we shot that movie, and so naturally, when I saw the trailer for this movie, I thought, I can uniquely appreciate bringing this true story back to life. All right, so coming back here, there is one significant difference between my movie and this movie, and that would be my movie does not star
J-Lo.
Exactly. For as long as I've known this guy, he's had a strangely inappropriate crush on J-Lo.
Yes.
We all get it, but I do fear you're stalking her at some point.
Come home, baby. Come home. That's all I'm saying.
She is great in this movie. She plays the mom. It's the true story of a young man, an ASU student that wants to be a world wrestler and actually ends up doing it. Now, the difference, in my movie, it was congenital amputation of one arm. In this, it's the leg, but still, it brings, shines a light on limb-different people and getting over any obstacle in your way. We caught up with Jarrell, who brings the true story to life, and Don Cheadle, who plays his coach brilliantly, and we talked. Take a look.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, yes.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Congratulations on this.
Thank you.
I know how daunting it is to bring this character to life. For you, what was the first and foremost challenge?
I mean, it was the pressure of making sure that justice was done and this was as authentic as possible, you know. Having Anthony there was sort of the cosign I needed, you know. He looked at me like, you got this, man. Like, this is a journey that we'll get on together, and him being there hand in hand with me kind of allowed me to feel comfortable with what I was doing. But I knew the pressures, you know, especially as an actor. I mean, I have two legs, you know, so as an actor who is given the responsibility to make sure that I play this part, you know, I didn't want to let him down, and I didn't want to let the disabled community down, as well as the wrestling community.
Sure, just the physicality of it. You have to learn how to wrestle like you've been doing it your whole life, and at the same time, realize the weight of it's going to be different. You can't throw yourself like a two-legged person.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
Absolutely. I mean, there was a lot of challenges with that. Anthony could do things that are just unmatched. You can't do it like him. And so that was kind of the whole point for me. It was never about being Anthony Robles. That would be impossible. But it was just embodying his spirit and his essence and that sort of charm that he carries that complements the beast that he is on the mat. You know, it's this weird like balance that he has. And I just wanted to capture that. As for the actual physicality, that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Well done. Well done so much. And you, sir, you two playing someone that's a real life guy. I loved at the screening, you saw Sean down there, you shouted him out. What kind of, not pressure, but what extra honor do you put into the role, knowing that when you're playing a character, you're trying to honor the work, the body. Absolutely. Now you're doing that and honoring a human being at the same time.
Yeah, and you know, as Jarrell said, you don't want to get it wrong. You know, you want to make sure that you are getting the essence of what it is. And the script is the Bible, so we're going to do what's in the script first and foremost, and it doesn't always align 100% with who the person is or whatever, but you definitely want to get the spirit right. You want to capture who they are, and you want to make sure that you're telling the story in a way that at the end of it, you don't have to hide from them, and they're giving you a pound at the end, like, thank you for doing that. So I think we were able to do that, and Anthony and Judy, they're both very happy with the film, and they're very proud, and Sean dug it as well. So I feel like we got that part right.
How nice was it knowing that you were taking a part where you weren't the guy that was going to have to be in a gym for 10 hours every day for months before you even hit set?
Yeah, no, I mean, I did my own stuff on the side before I got there, and we were, we never got to work out together though, but I was doing what I had to do because, Sean is also a monster. He was also a great wrestler. And don't want to just fake that. It's like, so I had to get on the mat and I had to do that and learn what it was to train in that way. But yeah, I was glad for the part. I was really happy to work with Jarrell. That's what I was really looking forward to working with the most.
So if I were a doctor writing a prescription for the world to watch a movie, I'd say, you need a dose of this movie right about now. Has being a part of this movie made you a better person, and how?
Well, for me, I just love that I have a new friend, you know what I mean? And not just in Jarrell, but in Anthony, and I have new people in my life that I can talk to, and, the family just gets bigger. That's one of the great things that we get to do as actors. We get to form these kind of nuclear families, and sometimes they stay. And, you get to have these great experiences with people. I'd love to work with Jarrell again at any time. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is when I get to see my friends again.
Amen. My first favorite thing about 2025 was this movie.
That's right. Thank you, David.
So true, so inspirational.
Ooh,
Don't
so
you think? By the way, Don Cheadle plays the coach. That would be Sean, and then Anthony is played there by Jarrell Jerome. So inspirational, and you had to lean into it because you played track. You had to train hard in high school in similar ways.
Similar ways, high school and in college track, but the military mostly. And I remember having a 65-pound rucksack on my back and doing maneuvers. And right now, I couldn't even do it with a loaf of bread. But so I know that it's inspirational and how hard it is to do that.
Even it's about wrestling. There is a scene where they run up that mountain. Did you ever have to do that?
Yes, I've had to do that. And I can't believe, I still to this day, I can't believe I did that. But yeah, I've had to do that, so I know how hard it is.
Got it. Well, get ready to be PTSD, because we're going to talk about that scene coming up in a moment. The real-life inspiration, mother and son, Judy and Anthony, joining us in person to talk about that run, and J-Lo playing her. Wait, do you have an inappropriate crush on this mom now?
Well, I'm mad you didn't interview J-Lo. Where was she?
We'll deal with that. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look to the people serving America all over the world right now in 177 different countries and territories worldwide, watching on AFN. Thanks for watching. I'm Marcus Allen. It's the world-famous comedian Steph Sanders. Big Valentine's Day show coming up in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Is it sold out yet?
One night is sold out. We got 2 more nights, and I think these other 2 are close to sold out.
Awesome. I can't think of anything except maybe some other things that would be more romantic, but not very much more romantic than hanging out with you.
Exactly. Please come.
Did I just say anything that made sense?
Well, it made sense to me.
Good. With that, let's move on to continue talking about Unstoppable. This movie is remarkably inspirational.
Yes.
I know so many people that need to see it right now. People should see this movie because...
Incredible acting, incredible cast, inspirational. I can go on, but it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, once you see the movie and then you see the real mom and son, you realize how brilliantly this movie is cast. I caught up with Anthony and his mom, Judy, to talk about it. Take a look.
All right, so inspired. I just got to shake that hand. Got to shake that hand. Congratulations on everything.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, this movie is so relentlessly inspiring. And first of all, it's my first bright light in 2025. This movie is what the world needs right now. How does it make you feel to be a part of something that is inspiring so many people?
That's humbling, and it's an honor, I think. But Anthony, I think, deserves it. He's worked very hard in everything he has, but with humility his whole life. So well-deserved attention.
How about you? You're out there speaking all the time. You know you're doing this, but to have this amplification.
Yeah, this is a whole different platform, and honestly, just blessed for this opportunity, honored, and I believe as a family we understand the true meaning behind this and what our goal is, and that is to inspire the world as they're overcoming, as they're wrestling their challenges. And so that's what really kind of helped us to open up about this, about our story, to share this film to the world.
Probably growing up, you saw family movies that, maybe inspired you or made you appreciate big family, but nothing really wraps around it like seeing this real story. At the end of the day, we're inspired by his, perseverance, but also we're inspired by family, keeping it all together. What does that mean to you?
You know what? It showed a very real side to my family, the pain and but also the strength that we went through. And I think that that's the foundation of our family because it was very real. And I think that people will appreciate that because we were willing to open up our lives and ourselves and be completely vulnerable in a lot of ways. So I'm grateful that, you know, our family just shows what a family, we have struggles but we bond together and we, you know, we overcome them. So I'm honored to be, you know, a part of such a strong family unit.
On that darkest day with hands in head where you felt like there was no hope, if an angel tapped you on the shoulder and said, you can get over this, someday they're going to make a movie and J-Lo is going to play you, what would you have said?
No, you know what? I had a lot of days like that where it was doubting myself, and you know they were awful. And how could I get through today? But it was always like I knew my faith was being tested, and I just trusted God through the whole process. Loved my son, loved my other kids, you know, as much. And so yeah, and then never in a million years would I thought J-Lo would have played me, but she's incredible, and nobody could have done it better.
I'm exhausted watching the scene of you, and I know you've talked about it, going up the mountain, right? Are you a little PTSD when you see the scene over again?
I am.
Yeah, my hands start hurting all over again thinking about that. But that for me, that was a huge milestone in my life, was getting up that peak and earning the respect of my teammates. So very grateful for that moment for sure.
I'm so grateful for this time with you and this movie. Same. Thanks for making the world a better place. Thank you so much.
So good. So good is this movie. So in her, she's playing J-Lo. That is, J-Lo is playing the mom, Judy, 20 years ago. Talk about casting. That is remarkable.
Remarkable. Fantastic casting, and she should win an Academy Award for this, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, Unstoppable in theaters right now. Please go see this movie. So many people I know, and you know who I'm talking to. I have friends that are like selfish clods of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world won't lend itself to making their lives better. Well, whatever you do right now, imagine doing it, missing an arm or a leg or whatever it takes to do that thing, and continuing to do it, only excelling in it.
Right.
That's why you need to see this movie.
I cut
Why
myself
should they see it?
shaving, and I was almost in the infirmary. So just doing that, it's just inspirational. Great casting all the way around, great acting, and of course J-Lo.
That's what the world needs right now.
Yes.
What else the world needs right now is the movie Blink. We talked about it before, but it starts streaming this weekend on Hulu and Disney Plus. Why you need to see this? Also, inspirational, true documentary about what one family does in the bleakest of times. Don't blink. We'll be right back to take a look. Hey, welcome back. It is Take a Look. Just moments ago, we were talking about Unstoppable, based on a true story, a dramatization. Now, another true story that's actually a documentary. We talked about before, the movie is Blink, and you're getting like teary-eyed even as we talk about it.
We're doing all the tearjerkers this year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, I love this movie because you think about it, we all have bucket lists. We all want to go somewhere, but for selfish reasons. But to go somewhere to see the sights and sounds because you may not be able to see them again is incredible.
Yeah, we first talked about this movie when it was in theaters, but now it's on Disney Plus and Hulu. It's the true story of the Pelletier family who found out that multiple children were going to go blind. So they decided before the children lost their eyesight entirely, they would take them to see everything on their vision bucket list. I got down with Mom and Dad to talk about the true inspiration of this. Take a look.
I love this movie so much. And up until a day ago when I saw the movie, I thought I was a pretty good parent. I give myself a B+. 2 of my 3 kids still speak to me. And then I saw your story. And now I realize that you are the best parents ever placed on this earth. And thanks for sharing your story.
It's really, we're truly grateful to be able to share that story with the world. You know, we work really hard to give great values to our kids and give them tools. So to be able to share a little bit of that great adventure is, it's a pleasure.
Well, I think you're phenomenal for both the life that you've given your own children, but also by sharing this because it gives other people ideas about when you receive a diagnosis like this or any other, sometimes you'll feel helpless, and I'm sure in many ways you did. But then you think, well, what can I do? And Sebastian, talk about how you took the reins and went on this journey.
Yeah, it's, you know, when you receive the diagnostic and you're told that there's nothing you can do, just come and see us, you know, in a year and we'll just assess how it's going. That's really the worst situation that you can live. So when he did consult a specialist and she said, you know, you can fill up their visual memory, and that's pretty much what you can do, and show them pictures and books and things like that. And when she came back, you know, we said, well, obviously we're going to go see them for real. And then we kept adding destinations and things like that. So for us, it was obvious at some point that, oh, well, we're going to have to leave for a full year. And then the project, you know, just rambled on. It's something that, became almost uncontrollable, but so beautiful.
You're explaining to the children that your life is a blank page. Elaborate on that.
Whenever you have kids, you always have plans for the future. You think your kids are going to do this, or you have an image of your family in the future. But then when you get to diagnosis like that, all of a sudden, overnight, it's just like you have to erase everything and start building those images of the future.
That's the reel right there. Inspirational family, Sebastian and Edith. You do parenting right. There's an adjunct book that goes along with it. But if you don't have time to read right now, go ahead and watch Blink. That documentary is now on Hulu and Disney Plus TV. So inspirational. You're a parent. Does it make you feel like you're a worse parent or inspire you as a parent? Where does it land?
Well, I feel like my mom and dad did me a disservice. All they took me to was Camp Kern for band camp, bad food. But I love you. Yeah, I feel like I'm a great parent, but not that great. Like, that's a different level.
What's the one last thing you'd like to see if you found out that you were losing your sight?
Great Wall of China.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
See, look, he's growing up. I thought he was going to say J-Lo. That's you were growing.
With J-Lo. With J-Lo.
With J-Lo.
Yeah, with J-Lo.
I knew there was a caveat in there somewhere. All right, let's keep the positive going. Coming up in a moment, Superman. This is one thing I definitely want to see. James Gunn lends his talents to it. I want to find out more about that dog, and I'm going to prove to you why he is the guy with the passion for this project. As Take a Look continues, we will be right back. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. I'm Marcus Allen. That's the world-famous comedian Steph Sanders. How you doing?
I'm great. Fantastic. You look amazing today, by the way.
It's because I'm glowing, because about what we're about to talk about. I'm so geeked out about this. You can tell my, nerd mumble begins, because we're talking about Superman as directed by the world-famous James Gunn. Thoughts?
Super dope. That's it.
Exactly. This needs to be done immediately. Still drooling over this super slick trailer. I've had a chance to follow James Gunn his entire career, from back in the day with the low-budget trauma films, all the way through his entire Guardians of the Galaxy journey, including his exit and return. But it was Guardians 2 that some famous Academy Award-winning director slurred the names of superhero movies, and James Gunn said, au contraire, quite passionately. Take a look.
I want to quote you, but I want to make sure I read it so I don't screw it up, because I love this quote. I read about you. You said, if you think people who make superhero movies are dumb, come out and say we're dumb. But if you as an independent filmmaker or a serious filmmaker think you put more love in your characters than Russo brothers do Captain America, Joss Whedon does the Hulk, or I do a talking raccoon, you're mistaken. That's true. So who are these people that are attacking such?
Well, I think I made that quote at a time when there were a lot of negative things being said about superhero and comic book movies during the Oscars by some people that were creating movies that were up for Oscars. And the director who actually said that apologized to me, so I don't want to nail him.
Who was it?
I'm not going to say, because he apologized. But I think that there were different people. They have... sometimes people have an attitude about these types of movies. But the truth is I spent 3 years of my life working on every aspect of this movie from top to bottom. I do nothing else but work on this movie. I love these characters. I love Rocket. I spend all of my time thinking about them. I go to bed every night thinking about them. I wake up every morning thinking about them. I put my entire heart and soul into them. And to say that somehow makes me less of a filmmaker or someone who isn't as committed to the art of filmmaking because I love these characters or because they're comic book movies, screw you. It's like that's not how I see it.
Amen. Well said. Just wanted you to say it again.
Screw you! Screw you, says, and I love the fact that he goes, the high road and doesn't want to call out the director. Scorsese. But he has since forgiven him, so I guess it's okay. Notice any difference about James Gunn? Anything subtle changed about James Gunn?
Yeah, he looks Lord of the Ringish now. I mean,
if you look at him now as opposed to that interview, it's like any president that goes into office not gray comes out very gray. Yes. James Gunn's been through a lot, including the making of this movie. Want to watch the trailer in its full?
Yes, please.
All right, what a great way to end the show. Let's watch it in its entirety. Thanks for watching. Take a look and watch the trailer. Roll!
me home.
Superman.